3, 2, 1.
In the heart of Lebanon, nestled within the fertile Bekaa Valley, lies a place of profound mystery and breathtaking scale. This is Baalbek. Here the earth itself seems to reach for the heavens, not in jagged peaks or verdant forests, but through stone. Immense, impossibly large blocks of stone, shaped by hands unknown and lifted by a power that defies our modern understanding. To walk among these ruins is to feel incredibly small, a fleeting visitor in a landscape built for giants or gods. The air is thick with the weight of millennia, carrying whispers of ancient rituals, forgotten kings, and the celestial bodies they worshipped. It is a place that asks more questions than it answers, inviting us to ponder the very limits of human achievement. The first impression of Baalbek is one of sheer, overwhelming size. The scale is almost beyond comprehension. We are accustomed to seeing ancient ruins as delicate remnants of a distant past. But here the remnants are colossal. They are statements of power and devotion, carved into the very bedrock of the planet. The columns of the great temples soar towards the sky, their capitals intricately carved, standing as silent sentinels over the valley below. One cannot help but wonder at the minds that conceived of such a place, and the hands that brought it into being. Each stone, each pillar, each fallen archway tells a story of ambition, faith, and an extraordinary connection to the world around them. As the sun casts long shadows across the ancient stones, the atmosphere becomes even more enchanting. The columns, weathered by countless seasons, seem to glow with an inner light, a memory of the vibrant ceremonies that once took place here. You can almost hear the faint echoes of music, the murmur of prayers offered to Jupiter, Bacchus, and Venus. This was not merely a collection of buildings, it was a living, breathing nexus between the human and the divine. A place where mortals sought to understand their place in the cosmos and to build a monument worthy of their gods. The sheer effort required to create Baalbek speaks volumes about the depth of their belief. And so, we begin our journey into this remarkable place. We will explore the great stones, so large that legend has often attributed their placement to supernatural forces. We will wander through the temples, designed with an astonishing understanding of engineering and astronomy. We will listen to the ancient myths that still cling to these ruins like ivy. Baalbek is more than just an archaeological site. It is a testament to the enduring power of human ingenuity and our timeless quest for meaning. It is a place that challenges our perceptions of the past and inspires a profound sense of wonder that resonates just as strongly today as it did thousands of years ago. At the foundation of the Grand Temple of Jupiter, we encounter one of the world's greatest engineering enigmas. This is the Trilithon. The name itself speaks of its nature, 3 stones. But these are no ordinary stones. They are 3 of the largest single building blocks ever used in the history of humankind. Each one is a monolithic giant, meticulously carved from limestone and set into the western retaining wall of the temple's podium. Lying side by side, they form a platform of such immense scale that it seems to belong to another world entirely. Standing before them, one feels a sense of profound awe, mixed with a deep and persistent question, how? Let us consider the sheer magnitude of these stones. Each of the 3 blocks measures approximately 19 meters in length, 4.2 meters in height, and 3.6 meters in depth. Their estimated weight is a staggering 800 tons apiece. To put that into perspective, this is the equivalent of more than 100 large African elephants, or 3 modern commercial airliners. These colossal blocks were not simply left on the ground. They were lifted to a height of over 6 meters and fitted together with such precision that a knife blade can scarcely be inserted between them. This feat was accomplished long before the advent of steam power or modern hydraulic cranes, leaving us to marvel at the lost knowledge of the ancients. The challenge was not only in the lifting, but also in the transportation. The quarry from which these stones were hewn is located nearly a kilometer away from the temple site. Moving an 800-ton block across uneven terrain is a task that would challenge even our most advanced 21st century technology. What methods could the builders have used? Did they employ vast armies of laborers, using a complex system of rollers, ropes, and levers? Did they build enormous ramps and painstakingly inch the stones forward over months or even years? The The silence of the stones offers no easy answers, only a testament to a level of planning, coordination and raw power that is difficult for us to fully grasp. The purpose of such a monumental foundation is another part of the puzzle. Why go to such extraordinary lengths? Some believe it was purely a display of Roman power and engineering prowess, a statement to the world that nothing was beyond their capabilities. Others suggest that the Romans built upon a much older pre-existing platform, inheriting a sacred site whose origins are lost in the mists of time. Whatever the reason, the Trilithon stands as a silent challenge to our assumptions about the past. It is a powerful reminder that ancient civilizations possessed a wisdom and a capability that we are still struggling to understand. Our journey into the mystery of Baalbek takes us now to the ancient quarry, a short distance from the main temple complex. Here, lying partially buried in the earth, is an object that defies belief. It is a single colossal block of stone, larger even than those used in the Trilithon, known locally as the Hajar al-Hibla, or the Stone of the Pregnant Woman. It is a testament to an ambition that almost reached its goal. This single stone is the largest worked monolith on the face of the earth. It lies where it was carved, a sleeping giant that never completed its journey to the temple, its purpose unfulfilled, its silence deepening the enigma of this incredible place. The dimensions of this stone are simply mind-boggling. It measures over 20 meters in length, and its cross-section is more than 4 by 4 meters. Its estimated weight is a colossal 1,000 tons. It is a solid block of limestone, perfectly hewn and squared, ready for transport. Standing beside it, a fully grown person appears insignificant, a mere speck against its immense bulk. One can trace the tool marks on its surface, evidence of the countless hours of labor that went into freeing it from the surrounding bedrock. It was a project of unimaginable scale, one that required not just brute force, but also an extraordinary degree of skill and precision from the quarrymen. Why it was abandoned remains a subject of intense debate among archaeologists and engineers. One theory suggests that a crack was discovered in the stone during the final stages of quarrying, rendering it unsuitable for its intended purpose. Perhaps the immense weight proved too much even for its creators, and the project was simply deserted. Recent excavations have revealed that the stone is even larger than previously thought, with its base still connected to the bedrock on one side. It seems the builders were in the final phase of cutting it free when the work suddenly stopped. The reasons are lost to time, leaving this great stone as a monument to what might have been. In recent years, even larger stones have been discovered in the same quarry lying nearby. One, known as the Stone of the South, is estimated to weigh over 1,200 tons, while another, uncovered in 2014, may weigh as much as 1,650 tons. This suggests that the Stone of the Pregnant Woman was not a singular, failed attempt, but part of a continuous, systematic process of creating and moving megaliths of incomprehensible size. The quarry of Baalbek was a factory for giants, producing building blocks for a structure of divine proportions. The abandoned stones are not just failures, they are clues, showing us the sheer scale of the vision that drove the builders of this sacred site. Rising majestically from the colossal stone platform of the Trilithon is the heart of Baalbek, the Temple of Jupiter. Though now a ruin, its remaining fragments speak of a structure of unparalleled grandeur and ambition. This was once the largest and most magnificent temple in the entire Roman Empire, a sacred space dedicated to the king of the gods. Its scale was designed to inspire awe, to lift the eyes and the spirit of the worshipper from the earthly realm to the celestial. To approach it, one would have climbed a monumental staircase, passed through an ornate hexagonal forecourt, and entered a vast courtyard surrounded by colonnades, before finally standing before the temple itself. The temple was truly enormous. It measured nearly 90 meters long and 50 meters wide, and was surrounded by 54 Corinthian columns of breathtaking height. Each column stood over 20 meters tall and was nearly 2.5 meters in diameter, carved from granite that was quarried in Aswan, Egypt, and transported all the way to Lebanon. Today, only 6 of these colossal columns remain standing, yet they dominate the skyline of the Bekaa Valley. They are a stark and beautiful testament to the temple's former glory. Standing beneath them, one can only imagine the sight of the complete structure, its forest of columns supporting a massive ornate roof against the brilliant blue sky. The construction itself remains a source of wonder, How were these 20-meter-tall granite columns, each weighing many tons, raised into position? The Romans were master engineers, and it is believed they used complex systems of cranes and lifting towers powered by human treadmills. Even so, the logistical challenge of quarrying the stone in Egypt, shipping it across the Mediterranean, transporting it overland to Baalbek, and then erecting it with such precision is almost beyond belief. The temple was not just an act of faith, it was one of the most audacious engineering projects of the ancient world. A demonstration of the absolute peak of Roman technical skill. This great temple was more than a building, it was the sacred center of a vibrant religious life. Within its walls, priests would have conducted elaborate ceremonies, making offerings to Jupiter Heliopolitanus, a unique fusion of the Roman sky god and the local Semitic sun god, Baal-Hadad. The great courtyard in front of the temple contained 2 altar towers and a large basin for ritual ablutions. It was a place designed for spectacle and mass worship, where the power of the Roman Empire and the deep spirituality of the local people came together in a symphony of stone, ritual, and devotion to the heavens above. Just a short distance from the ruined grandeur of the Temple of Jupiter stands another smaller temple. But you know, smaller is really a relative term at Baalbek. This is the Temple of Bacchus, and honestly, it's one of the best preserved and most exquisitely decorated Roman temples left in the world. While the Temple of Jupiter reached for the heavens with its immense scale, the Temple of Bacchus draws you in with its intricate beauty and its celebration of life. Dedicated to the god of wine, fertility, and ecstatic revelry, this temple feels more intimate, more human. To step inside its gates is to be transported back in time, to a world where the divine was found not just in the distant sky, but also in the fruits of the earth. The temple's state of preservation is, well, truly remarkable. While its roof is long gone, its walls and the magnificent cella, or inner sanctuary, remain largely intact. The entrance portal is a masterpiece of Roman art, standing over 13 meters high and covered in breathtakingly detailed carvings. Vines, poppies, and scenes from mythology wrap around the doorframe. The keystone of the portal, which has slipped slightly over the centuries due to earthquakes, depicts an eagle clutching a caduceus, a symbol often associated with Mercury, who sometimes accompanied Bacchus. This slight imperfection, the fallen keystone, only adds to the temple's character, a reminder of the immense forces of nature that it has endured. Inside, the richness of the decoration just continues. The walls of the cella are lined with fluted Corinthian half-columns, and between them are niches that would have once held statues of gods and goddesses. The far end of the sanctuary features a raised adytum, or Holy of Holies, where the statue of Bacchus himself would have stood. The ceiling of the surrounding colonnade, or peristyle, is made of stone coffers, each one carved with a different motif, busts of gods like Mars and Diana, geometric patterns, and scenes of mythological significance. It's really a feast for the eyes, a symphony in stone that celebrates the richness and abundance of the world Bacchus represented. The purpose of this temple was to host the mystery cult of Bacchus. These were secret rituals, open only to initiates, that were believed to bring the worshipper closer to the god. They likely involved music, dancing, and the ritual consumption of wine, designed to induce a state of ecstasy or divine union. The carvings throughout the temple reflect this theme, with depictions of Maenads, female followers of Bacchus, satyrs, and themes related to the god's life and rebirth. The Temple of Bacchus is a powerful reminder that ancient religion was not only about solemn worship of distant sky gods, but also about the joyous, vibrant, and sometimes wild celebration of life itself. The magnificent structures of Baalbek were not placed randomly upon the landscape. Just like many ancient sacred sites around the world, they were carefully designed to reflect the rhythms of the cosmos. The builders possessed a deep understanding of astronomy, and they encoded this knowledge into the very architecture of the temples. The alignment of these great buildings with the movements of the sun, moon, and stars was fundamental to their purpose. They were not merely places of worship, but also giant celestial observatories, built to track the seasons and mark important moments in the astronomical calendar. This connection between the earthly and the celestial is key to understanding the profound spirituality of Baalbek. The main axis of the entire temple complex, from the entrance through the hexagonal court and into the great court of the Temple of Jupiter, is aligned with the rising sun on the spring and autumn equinoxes. On these 2 days of the year, when day and night are of equal length, the first rays of dawn would have shone directly through the main gateway, illuminating the path to the high altar. This was a powerful and deliberate piece of architectural symbolism, marking the balance of the seasons and lightly signaling the time for important agricultural festivals. For a society dependent on the land, tracking these celestial events was a matter of survival, and integrating them into their most sacred spaces was a way of honoring the divine order of the universe. Further research suggests even more complex alignments. Some scholars propose that various niches and windows within the temples were designed to frame the rising or setting of specific bright stars, such as Sirius or constellations like Orion. These alignments would have served as a precise calendar, helping priests determine the timing for specific religious ceremonies and festivals throughout the year. The entire complex can be seen as a great stone computer, a machine for tracking time on a cosmic scale. The builders were not just engineers, they were astronomers, weaving the patterns of the heavens into the fabric of their holiest site. This celestial orientation places Baalbek within a global tradition of sacred architecture. From the pyramids of Egypt to Stonehenge in England and the temples of the Maya in Central America, ancient cultures all over the world built monuments that mirrored the sky. It reflects a universal human desire to find order in the universe and to feel a connection to the vast and mysterious cosmos. At Baalbek, this desire was expressed on a scale that is almost unparalleled. The temples are a testament to a worldview where there was no separation between the earth below and the heavens above. They were two parts of a single sacred whole. When human reason struggles to explain the seemingly impossible, the imagination takes flight. The sheer scale of Baalbek, particularly its colossal foundation stones, has long inspired myths and legends. For centuries, local folklore has offered explanations that lie beyond the realm of ordinary human capability. One of the most enduring legends attributes the construction of Baalbek to the jinn, powerful supernatural beings from pre-Islamic mythology. According to these tales, King Solomon, renowned for his wisdom and his command over spirits, ordered an army of jinn to build a magnificent palace for the Queen of Sheba. The great stones, too heavy for any mortal to lift, were moved into place by these otherworldly servants. This legend of supernatural builders is a common thread in explaining megalithic sites around the world. It speaks to the profound impact these structures have on the human psyche. When faced with something that defies our understanding of physics and history, we naturally reach for extraordinary explanations. The story of Solomon and the jinn provided a satisfying narrative for a feat that seemed beyond the strength of men. It imbued the site with an aura of magic and ancient power, a place touched by forces from another dimension. These stories, passed down through generations, became as much a part of Baalbek's identity as the stones themselves. Another set of legends speaks not of spirits, but of a race of giants who once inhabited the earth. In some versions of the story, these giants built Baalbek as a fortress or a capital city. This idea connects to ancient biblical texts, such as the Book of Genesis, which mentions the Nephilim, a race of giants who lived in the land of Canaan before the Great Flood. The story of Cain, exiled to the land of Nod, has also been linked to Baalbek, with some traditions claiming he built it as a refuge after murdering his brother Abel. These myths attempt to place Baalbek within a familiar, epic history of humanity's primordial past. These tales, whether of jinn, giants, or biblical figures, serve a vital purpose. They are humanity's attempt to make sense of the incomprehensible. They highlight the universal human response to awe. When something is so grand and so mysterious that it feels superhuman, we conclude that it must have been. While modern science seeks answers in engineering and physics, these ancient legends offer a different kind of truth. They tell us about the wonder and reverence that Baalbek has inspired in people for thousands of years. A sense of awe so powerful that it could only be explained as the work of gods, spirits, or giants. Baalbek was not the creation of a single culture, but rather a sacred place that was revered and built upon by a succession of civilizations over thousands of years. Its story is a rich tapestry woven from the threads of many different peoples, each adding their own layer of meaning and architecture to the site. Long before the Romans arrived, this place was a center of worship for the ancient Phoenicians and other Semitic peoples of the region. They called it Baalbek, which translates to Lord of the Bekaa Valley. Here, they worshipped a trinity of fertility gods, chief among them the storm and sun god Baal-hadad. The massive stone platform may even predate the Phoenicians, its true origins lost to prehistory. When Alexander the Great conquered the region in the 4th century BC, Baalbek, like so many other places, was touched by Hellenistic culture. The Greeks identified the local god Baal-hadad with their own sun god Helios, and the city became known as Heliopolis, the city of the sun. This fusion of local and Greek traditions laid the groundwork for the monumental building phase that was to come. The sanctity of the site was recognized and respected, and the Greek influence began to blend with the ancient Semitic roots, creating a unique cultural and religious melting pot that would define the character of Baalbek for centuries to come. It was under the Roman Empire, beginning in the reign of Emperor Augustus around 15 BC, that Baalbek was transformed into the architectural marvel we see today. The Romans, recognizing the site's immense religious importance, embarked on one of the most ambitious construction projects in their history. They identified Baal-hadad with their own chief deity Jupiter, and the local fertility goddess with Venus. Over the next 2 centuries, they built the colossal temples to Jupiter and Bacchus, pouring immense resources into creating a religious center that would project the power and piety of Rome. Yet, they did so upon the foundations of the ancient sacred platform, honoring the holiness of the place that had been established long before their arrival. The story of Baalbek did not end with the Romans. With the rise of Christianity, the temples were converted into churches during the Byzantine era under Emperor Theodosius. Later, following the Arab conquest in the 7th century, the temple complex was fortified and transformed into a citadel, known as the Kala. Each new civilization recognized the strategic and symbolic importance of the site, adding its own walls, towers, and mosques. This long and continuous history of occupation is what makes Baalbek so fascinating. It is not a frozen snapshot of one empire, but a living document of human history, a place where different faiths and cultures have met, clashed, and merged for millennia. Today, as we walk among these weathered giants of stone, Baalbek continues to challenge and inspire us. It is more than an archaeological site. It is a monument to the highest aspirations of the human spirit. It stands as a powerful symbol of our timeless quest to understand our place in the universe and to connect with something larger than ourselves. The sheer ambition of its builders, the incredible skill of its engineers, and the deep devotion of its worshippers all combine to create a place that resonates with a profound sense of wonder. It forces us to reconsider what we think we know about the capabilities of ancient peoples. The mysteries of Baalbek are perhaps its most precious gift. The unanswered questions about how the great stones were moved and why such a colossal structure was built in this particular valley fuel our curiosity and imagination. These enigmas invite us to be detectives of the past, to piece together clues from mythology, engineering, and archaeology. In an age where science seems to have an answer for everything, Baalbek reminds us that there are still profound mysteries hidden in our own history. This sense of the unknown is vital, for it keeps us humble and encourages us to keep searching, questioning, and exploring the legacy of those who came before us. For the people of Lebanon, Baalbek is a source of immense national pride, a UNESCO World Heritage Site that stands as a testament to their country's deep and complex history. It is a symbol of resilience, having survived earthquakes, wars, and the decay of time. Each summer, the ruins come alive again, not with ancient rituals, but with the Baalbek International Festival, where world-class artists perform music, dance, and theater against the backdrop of the illuminated temples. In this way, the site continues its ancient function as a gathering place for humanity, a stage for the celebration of culture and creativity. Ultimately, Baalbek belongs to all of humankind. It is a shared heritage that speaks a universal language of awe and inspiration. It teaches us that with vision, cooperation, and an unwavering belief in a greater purpose, human beings are capable of achieving the seemingly impossible. As we stand beneath the 6 remaining columns of the Temple of Jupiter, looking up at the vast expanse of the sky they were built to honor, we are connected to a chain of wonder that stretches back for millennia. Baalbek is a place where the earth truly meets the divine, not just in stone, but in the enduring power of the human imagination.